shit, let's hold it back now. Young and now king, trip the gold like a sack. Ducking from the laws with the dogs, bring the scat out. Talking all that shit, you sound like Charles while I'm Shaq. Checkity, Mike, checkity, Mike, checkity. You heard? Coming in with that big noise. Cats ain't heard that. Hey, cats ain't heard that big noise in about 50 years, huh?
Man, it's been a minute.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Been a minute, man. It's your boy Word from the Word of Clarity podcast show with my boy Kenneth Klarity. Back in the building, man. This is technically the 14th episode of 2023. You know what I'm saying? It feels good to say we at least got 13 episodes. You know what I mean? It feel like we should have about 40 of them joints, but 14, I would say, with the breaks and all, we still keeping the shit moving. You know what I'm saying? So we back, we live, man. Feel good to be back. Know y'all missed us. We miss y'all. Off season is here in the NBA. We got some new records to talk about in music. We gonna kind of get around everywhere, man. Try to cover all the things we may have missed and the things that's to come. So what's popping on my G? How you feeling down there, G?
Listen, man. Battling with life, man. Your boy caught a bug, man. But I'm good. I'm ready to pod. I'm ready to get back to the people. It's been a minute, man. Too much has been happening for us to not, jump in, for us to not cover it, for us to not get into that bag. So definitely excited, man. Let's get it in, bro.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah, man. Feeling good to be back, man. I think the first thing we could jump into, Dog, did you have a chance to check out that they clone Tyrone movie on Netflix?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
It seemed like he got all kind of stuff to
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your immediate takeaway from that, my G, dog? I'm first, before we get into it, by the way, man, I'm a huge Jamie fan. Jamie, to me, is somebody I believe is like the most talented individual that walks the earth. Love his movies, you know what I mean? Talented with the pen when it comes to singing and doing music. Comedian, magician, not a magician. That boy said a magician.
Not a magician.
A musician. You know what I mean? Got vocals. So yeah, man. But how you feel about that joint, dog?
Yeah, I think this joint has cemented itself to me as one of the best movies in 2023, if not the best movie in 2023.
Wow.
I don't think that's I don't think that's crazy to say. Like, first of all, let me just give a shout out to this dude because I don't think he gets enough credit. The main star, if you will, of the movie, the dude who actually plays Tyrone and all the other characters that you'll see throughout, a dude named John Boyega. Black dude from the UK, and that's if you've been keeping up with movies and cinematics and all that, that black people from the UK are doing better than us as it pertains to movies. So they doing us better than us. They doing themselves better than us. Like, they killing out there. But this dude is cold, man. Some people have seen him in Star Wars. Some people have seen him in other movies where he plays like a war veteran who's struggling to get his life together. And in this movie, if you know this dude, John Boyega, what makes this performance so dope for me, even before I get to Jamie, is this dude is like a square. Like, you watch him in interviews and stuff like that, like, he a real buttoned up, suit and tie, hey, how you doing, mate? That type of dude. And like, he plays this hood dude, you know what I'm saying? And they clone Tyrone, and like, it's so far from his personality that like, you have to do nothing but respect his performance. So shout out to him. Wanted to give a shout out because he's kind of like a newcomer who's making some big noise. Jamie, of course. Jamie, of course. Jamie, despite what he was going through, and I don't know if was this the movie where they had to do like a stunt double situation and all that because he had gotten sick?
Yeah, Jamie has so many things on his table, bro. Like, he got that other movie where he was doing the voiceovers for the pets, this movie. And I want to say it was something that came out right before the whole kind of scarce with his health situation. So it may have been this one. I couldn't tell. Did you see a stunt double that kind of... I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell. So if whatever they did was Gucci for me, bro. But Jamie was spectacular in this joint. I don't know the actress's name, but she killed. Really, everybody was so good in this movie, bro. And I don't want to give too much away, but so if you haven't seen it, it's a must-see. Like I said, I think it's if it's not the movie in 2023, it's one of the top 3 movies in 2023. But just at first, I would just say, pay attention to every little detail, because at first, the greatest thing that I feel like I can do when I watch movies is not necessarily read the background of the plot. Like, I didn't want to look it up. I didn't want to read up on it. I just wanted to walk into the movie blind. So,
wow.
For me, some of the beginning sines didn't really even make sense to the end of the movie.
Facts.
And I feel like
it took me about 30 minutes to get on the wheel and have my, if you don't, typically you kind of gotta hook me to really be just all the way involved, in the first, at least 15. Something gotta be crazy. Put a crazy scene at the front and then I'll be in. That way, if it kind of slows down in the middle, I'm already hooked because you gave me something in the beginning. But this mug, like you said, them first 30 minutes, maybe even 45, I'm looking like, man, this mug. But now, go ahead, bro.
No. I'm getting ready to say everything you just said, bro. Just probably, in different words. I couldn't tell what was going on. So it was what am I watching? Why is this important? Why he keep pulling up to the door and asking for his mom? He gave old man some liquor. What's popping? You know what I'm saying? So there was just a lot of stuff that it was it just don't make sense. But then when you start seeing it play out and the plot open up, and then you realize what they're actually showing you.
Right.
To me, and I'm a fan of his, so I'm about. It's gonna sound like I'm taking a shot at him, but I'm really not. I just want people to understand what they're walking into. For me, this is what Jordan Peele tries to do often.
Wow.
And sometimes he's extremely successful. Like Get Out, I thought he was extremely successful, and sometimes he's not as successful. Nope, I didn't like Nope. I thought Nope was trash. And so he's a hit or miss, though he's one of the best of our generation. I give it to Jordan Peele. To me, this bag is what Jordan Peele tries to jump in, and they executed it perfectly. I'm not going to say no more about the movie because I want you to open up and do whatever you do, but I'm going to just say it like this, Word. This was one of the few movies I've ever watched where after I finished watching it, I literally looked over and was like, y'all want to restart it? That's how I felt.
Did y'all restart that joint? Bro, the way you looked over it, dog.
Yeah.
Nah, but you know what?
The credits came. That's how I felt, G.
Nah, but a lot of people, man. Nah, I think you gave a good review or reaction to that mug for sure. Cause it is crazy for me, bro. Movie consumption this year, nothing's made me say movie of the year, best movie of 2020. Nothing has gave me that. This movie definitely, if it was a line where it was trying to reflect my movie interest, this one definitely peaked the line for me. You know what I mean? It jumped when I watched this one for sure. But that's tough to come away and say movie of the year. I would suppose it's definitely one of the better ones. I haven't seen a lot this year though. All the movies I've been watching have not been movies that came out in 2023.
Well, let me just remind you, John Wick came out this year.
Oh yeah, John Wick 4. Yeah, you know what? I left the theater ballistically after that. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I left the theater ready to do these right here. You hear me?
John Wick.
And look, this John Wick, I felt like the storyline has always been to buy in. Of course, the action, but I feel like they really executed a certain twist and a certain unexpectedness in that John Wick 4. So I would probably have to give it to that, especially for what I've seen in the theaters. But this one probably has been the best that I've watched, at least from the crib, the Netflix releases or straight to the streaming services. I get this one out. But like you said, man, them first 30, 40 minutes, I'm like, man, this mug kind of, got me not even bought in. But shout out to the guys that's coming from UK, man, Damson Idris, this guy. How you pronounce this dude's name again?
John Boyega.
John Boyega. That mug crazy. He played in this other movie, dog, where he was a dude that was kind of poor, coming from a horrible type of situation, and he had to he held a stick up and held a hostage at either a bank. I think it was a bank, but it was.
That's the joint I was talking about. That was incredible.
Yeah, that mug was his bro. I didn't even know that was the dude until I looked him up. And I seen his catalog, and I'm like, man, he looked it totally he was beat down, looking all, you know what I mean? And then you see him in this mug, he kind of thug, gangster, got swag. He was, I like how he was looking at this mug. I like the nappiness with the golds. Dude was looking icy in this joint, dog. Yeah, but yeah, man, I think all three of the people in that Tyrone Clone movie was pretty stellar, dog. Between Jamie, the girl, and then old dude that played the main character. And they did do a good job of doing that same type of mystery in like what's on the other side of the coin, like Jordan Peele always try to create with his movie. Now Jordan Peele, he does do a good job to me. Nope is the one where I thought was a bit lackluster compared to like Us and Get Out.
Which were great movies, yeah. I didn't want to take no shot at them.
Which were still great movies, but whatever this genre, I'm guessing this what would you call this genre? You know what I mean? Like,
I would say like what, black sci-fi, mystery, suspense, maybe like something in that bag. Yeah,
it's definitely a multi-layered genre, but whatever it is, like whenever the blacks get into this bag and it's done like this. Like it's always a little bit more edge up on it because it's like it's from the perspective of like we're the ones that are being victimized and taken advantage of, or like it's being like dangled in front of these, you know what I mean? Like, and it's always a dope way to see it from that perspective versus when it's done from the opposite side, like white culture. You know what I mean? I always think it's a little bit more edgy and just more raw to the bone. But man, shout out to them, man. Definitely looking forward to some. I'm actually thinking about going to go see that new Ninja Turtle joint. I was a huge Ninja Turtle fan coming up. You know what I mean? Had the video games, had the costumes for Halloween, all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? And then Barbie, crazy opening weekend. Haven't seen that. I can't, bro. The rollout for Barbie is like unmatched. I mean, I feel like, bro, this mode was like a rollout for the president campaign or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing Barbie pool theme pool parties. I'm seeing Barbie nights at clubs and hookah bars. I'm seeing all kind of I'm seeing grown women and men go to the theaters with they all pink outfits on, like ready to just go see this mug. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy, dog. So I haven't seen a movie. But I seen the critics in the box office looked stellar. The fans and the critics was agreeing, which is a rare case. What's the other joint? Oppenheimer was another one. I'm talking about all movies I ain't seen yet, bro. Like I said, I ain't been there yet, but I gotta go see this one for sure. That's the movie about the guy that supposedly made the atomic bomb. And Christopher Nolan behind that one. Anything, but he's behind. I'm pretty much behind. So I gotta see that one ASAP, man. But I think today I'm gonna go see that Ninja Turtles for sure, though, dog. But yeah, man. Hopefully by next time we get back on the next pod, man. You know we can come back and chop it up about some other movies as well, my G. But man, you know NBA offseason, man. You know why we here, dog. We always coming to talk about music and sports, man. I think the first time or the last episode, we kind of talked about NBA offseason, and there was a few moves that's happening. But since then, definitely a lot's done happened, man. You know what I mean? We got Bill in the Phoenix. We got Porzingis to Boston. Jaylen Brown with a super max extension. We gonna start there, though, man. How we feeling about the new assembled Boston Celtics, dog? I mean, you cats got new cats. You gave up a lot of the heart and the soul and the core that a lot of people would say that y'all gave up, being that we talking about Marcus Smart, Grant Williams. You know what I'm saying? How you feeling right now, man? Let's talk about the latest thing with the Supermax with Jaylen Brown. Is it worthy? Was he deserving of it? How you feel, G?
Listen, man, I'm obviously everybody knows if you watch the pod, I'm a Celtics fan from Boston. You know what I'm saying? No bandwagon over here. Been that guy since I was young. Definitely think we've missed some opportunities, especially last year, to be in the finals, contending, competing, putting ourselves in a space and in the time to win a championship. So, to me, there's no reason we lose to Miami last year, even with all of our discontinuity and stuff like that, new coach and all that. I still think we should have got the job done, but that's just me. Even though not Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum went down, all of that. So, you know, just because I haven't shared that take, I just wanted to make sure I did that. As far as Jaylen Brown is concerned, I wouldn't have paid him $300 million. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why, bro. There's an of-age superstar in Portland who was looking to get out of the situation, who I believe could have been had if you trade Jaylen Brown. to me, if you're the Celtics, when it comes to $300 million for a guy like Jaylen Brown, who I think is one of the best number twos in the NBA, right? I think he's definitely a second star that you know is going to show up and even like take more upon his shoulders than he often should. Like, he's not scared of the moment. Jaylen Brown is a good number two, but I don't think you pay a number two, NBA highest paid contract money. I think when a situation like this comes, you look at the market and you say, the only way I'm paying this dude that type of money, because the market's going to reset with somebody anyway. So that's not Jaylen Brown's fault. But the only way I pay a dude this type of money is if there's not a viable option somewhere else to make a splash that could either replace or better this dude's production. For me, if I'm looking at the market and I'm the Celtics, I know Dame said he wants to play in Miami, but he's got 3 more years on his contract. If I send Jaylen Brown and a couple of pieces to the Portland Trailblazers, I'm walking away with Damian Lillard. And to me, Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White, Robert Williams, Al Horford, like, to me, that team, in my opinion, potentially is better than last year's team. I think if Damian Lillard and Jason Tatum are on the same floor against Miami, we don't even get to a Game 7. That's the type of player that Damian Lillard is in the playoffs. So, you look at it from that standpoint and you say to yourself, $300 million? Or do I make the $300 million Portland's problem, and I walk away with Dame, who's already in the set contract for the next 3 years, and I ride out the rest of his prime? For me, that's why I don't pay Jaylen Brown $300 million. Now, congrats to him for getting that contract. Do I think it's the worst decision in the world? No, I don't. Because the Jason Tatum's contract, Luka Doncic's contract, $425 million, $450 million, $500 million. Like, they're getting ready to get astronomical deals. So in a couple of years, Jaylen Brown's contract won't even look that bad. But as of right now, if I don't have to, I don't. And so that's my take, G. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I feel that, man. I definitely agree with the whole. I would re-sign him, but I mean, I guess they did that maybe out of fear of thinking that they don't give him this, he would be less interested in coming back or something like that. But
I don't think he comes back though. That's true. No. I don't think they're scared. They know for sure.
If they don't give him that, he's not coming back.
Nah, he's not coming back. And honestly,
wow.
Any young star in his position, he could have been playing anywhere.
Yeah.
Any young star in his position, there's going to be a team that's going to pay him. For instance, the Hornets are not going to get top-level draft picks. The Utah Jazz are not going to get top-level draft picks. So if Jaylen Brown is available and they have cap space, those teams are going to pay him $300 million.
They looking to lobby $300 over the top.
Absolutely, that's right. You ain't got no other option. So for them, if we don't pay him this year, he's getting it somewhere. Yeah. And so the Celtics felt like, look, if we don't feel like there's necessarily, a guy who can come in and replace that production, let's just pay this dude, man. Let's just pay him.
Yeah, definitely a result of the market, man. Like I said, I think I put in the group chat. That was Michael Conley, 3-4 years ago when he was getting 150 M's, and that seemed crazy at the moment because, Jaylen Brown is a lot better than Michael Conley, but Michael Conley at the time, PG getting that type of money was crazy. So I would definitely be in a position where, despite whatever Dame talking about, I would think me offering up Jaylen Brown to the Portland Trailblazers, they biting on that. You know what I mean? And honestly, he's getting paid more than what Dame was. So, they may have to send somebody in return to match the contract. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, tough cookie there, man. But, like you said, JT, dog, JT, all them next class guys that's like 25 and under gonna be just getting, that money they was giving, what's the old boy name? I forgot the soccer star. They offered that boy like a B. They ain't getting that in basketball right now, but them boys finna be getting like a half a B for sure, dog. Like,
now that soccer star got $778 million. He makes more than the eight highest paid players in the NBA. I've seen the statistic, whatever the case may be. He can pretty much pay for their salaries with his salary. So
I don't even be understanding that stuff over there in the soccer field, bro. Like,
but you know what it is, though, Word, and it's something that I'm learning myself just because I'm not into the sport.
Right.
Their sport is global, bro. So this dude, he's playing in front of 80,000 fans, 90,000 fans
every night.
So you got to understand, if you're doing that, if you're doing those type of numbers, between ticket sales, merchandise, and all that, they're making the soccer leagues and the clubs over there are making billions of dollars based upon what goes on.
Basically, the NBA would just have to go global. Like, it just wouldn't make sense for the NBA because I mean, how would that even look? You would have to start throwing teams outside of the NBA into the fold, or you would have to just be like, all right, Miami Heat, y'all gonna play for New Zealand. You know what I mean? Like, y'all finna go rep New Zealand now, or get it, because you build a team from New Zealand going against the LA Lakers. Man, that mug gonna be 90-10. You know what I mean? Like, the competition is.
The way I would say do it is have a country get behind a team. So you keep all the same teams in the league. Maybe you expand about three to six more teams, and then you say, hey, New Zealand, whatever. Your team, your NBA team that is a representative of you is the San Antonio Spurs. So now the Spurs are the San Antonio Spurs, but also represent the country of such and such and such and such. So you're going to see them play, 3 or 4 times a year, or however many times a year over here as like a home game, and it'll be for your fans. And then you kind of do it like that. So you don't necessarily have to like change the dynamics of the league, but you attach a country to a team, an NBA team. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That would be the way that I would do it.
Yeah, that at least to do it. And I guess that's what they, not necessarily the whole attaching a team to a country, but I know that's what the NBA is attempting to do whenever they have games in other countries, or you know what I mean, like when they have games like on football fields and different spaces and stuff like that, to tap into other demographics and audiences. So, but now that would be dope, dog, because you got stadiums over there, like you said, 80,000, 90,000 in the arena. You know what I mean? Watching a basketball game would be insanity. But that soccer, man, that soccer stuff is different, dog. But back to the Boston Celtics, man. We was talking about Jaylen Brown, but yeah, I also got Porzingis, man, while also giving up, like I said, a lot of the heart and soul. I don't know how I specifically feel about that, because the one that I say is gonna hurt the most is probably Marcus Smart, because he's like that alpha in the locker room. He's like the tone setter in how that team is gonna go forward against any opponent they may come up against night in and night out. And also the enforcer, when grit gotta meet grit. You know what I mean? I don't know who that's gonna be for y'all now. Jaylen Brown, man, when he was less offensive, he used to be more on that side, looking like a little rough rider. But now he kind of, especially you get 300 M's, made a couple All-Stars, I think an All-NBA team. He's pretty much dang near one of the guys on that level when most people eyes just off of what's on his resume and his salary checks. You know what I mean? Like, so how you feel though, dog? Like, I feel like it's going to come and hunt y'all in certain spaces. But y'all definitely gonna be able to extend, teams out on the arc with somebody like Porzingis being able to knock down from 30. He's a 7-footer. Hopefully he provides a little bit more resistance on the defensive side. But I think Robert Williams is gonna be definitely key to being healthy this year. Like, his health is gonna ride a lot on kind of y'all resistance on the defensive side of the ball for sure, because he has a lot of hard time staying on the court for some reason. I'm not sure if it's something, he has a condition or something like that, but he always seems to be out.
Yeah, something always is going on with Robert Williams, but I don't know. I think he's working his way back to health. I know he had like an abdomen issue or something like that, which is serious. Like, you never know what that type of stuff does. So I think he's been kind of dealing with that the past few seasons. So hopefully he'll be ready to go. But I'll say this: people forget also that Porzingis was a defensive presence a lot in the early years of his career, especially in New York. Like, dude was a shot blocking machine. So if we can even just get him to play that level of like, hey, interior, I'm not necessarily telling you got to follow dudes out 40, 50 feet, but hey, when somebody come in here, you punching that jump. I think he can be that guy still. I actually think he had one of his best seasons in the NBA last year, quietly. It just was in Washington, so nobody cares. But
right,
like his ability to play, I think, like he's figured something out. He's added some muscle, he's added some size. He's not only stronger than he's ever been, but he's as efficient as he's ever been. And so, me kind of doing some investigative work on what Porzingis has looked like in the time in which I haven't really paid attention to him has made me realize, Porzingis is actually an option that can help us tremendously. I think we're more skilled than we've ever been. But like you said, we've sacrificed being more skilled and being less of we're more of a finesse team than a Rough Riders team.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know how that's going to work. Maybe we out finesse people. Like, for instance, I felt like the Warriors for a long time out finesse people, which is why they were able to win. They had one Rough Rider and Draymond Green, and everybody else was light-skinned assassins, and that's kind of how they got it done. Maybe we can do some. Maybe we can do some of that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's possible. I think we got one Rough Rider and Robert Williams, and the rest is kind of just like light-skinned assassins, and JB be playing like he light-skinned sometimes. And so, we figure that out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the squad right now. I think Derek White being able to play that starting point guard role, I've had full trust in Derek White. After seeing what he's done the last couple of playoff runs, he's arguably been the third best player on our team in the playoffs.
If Derek White takes one more step up, like if he has I don't know if he has another gear, but if he has anything that's remotely close to going above where he is now, that can be the difference of y'all getting over that hump that may have always be a challenge for y'all deep in the playoff runs. Cause he has times, bro, where he's just like, man, he may be telling cats on the wing to push down so I could take over. You know what I'm saying? Like Derek White he showed signs where he can, take over for a 3 to 4 minute stretch and get it done. You know what I mean? Like, so it's gonna be interesting to see, Doc. We really far out from the playoffs and all of that stuff, and even the season coming back. But man, the NBA season, dog, I've been looking for B-ball anywhere I can get it. I'm watching WNBA. I'm looking at I'm trying to see is it gonna be some US FIBA games going on this year? I see cats training and stuff. You know the schedule of that and when that kind of come around.
Yeah. I think in a couple weeks, bro, there's gonna be some FIBA stuff, some qualifying stuff. So it's gonna be good to watch. Seeing some of the dudes they got over there, Anthony Edwards and Brandon Ingram and Jalen Brunson and all them dudes.
That France, if I'm not mistaken, either wherever Jamal Murray, maybe it's Canada. Murray and Shea Gilchrist, it was somebody else over there. I said, that squad looking kind of nice. You know what I'm saying?
There is somebody else. I forgot who it is. He nice though.
Yeah,
they got a couple of dudes over there in Canada. I don't know what's going on, but
I don't know.
Keep building the squad that's about to compete for real.
Yeah, bro, because they had the rankings out and it was respectable. They had USA number 2. I forgot. I think it may have been France at number 1. I said, yeah, man, because the guys I see that's going out for the USA team this year, like the FIBA team, it ain't like the stars. It ain't Brian, KD, none of them guys are in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like young guns on that mug. Bobby Portis. All these type of cats that's trying to get their feet wet on the USA ball. So, man, I'm excited for that, though, man. I've been looking for all kind of stuff, man. I ain't even put this on the notes, but I know you probably want to jump at it, dog. That Crawford and that Crawford and that Earl Spitz, dog. Look, we gonna close out with that one, then, dog. I'll let you heal for a second because we still got some more b-ball to talk, man, and then we can jump into some music too, dog. But
thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. STL Finest, man. Bradley Beal, Phoenix Suns. I can't remember if we covered that last time or if that happened last time, but man, Bill is definitely somewhere, man, where he ain't got to look around for help as far as on the offensive side. He dealing with cats that gun at the level he does, and even at a high level with KD and Book. A whole bunch of firepower over there, man. They traded. Who was all in that trade, bro? I forgot who was all in that. Chris Paul not there no more, right?
Right. Chris Paul was in the trade. Man, who else? Landry Shamet was over there.
Landry Shamet. They traded all kind of cats. So where's that dude at now? Chris Paul, is he in? I didn't forgot. Wow, that's right, bro. That's it, bro. This dude, dog. This off, I knew it was something I was forgetting, bro. I'm like, how did he even get there? I'm like, that boy Chris Paul is in Golden State, dog. But Bill, I mean, I feel like Bill and the Suns. are gonna be they just gonna have to shoot cats out the gym, bro. They gonna have to shoot cats out literally from the gym. Like, just imagine if you get D Book, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal all hovering around 50, 40, 90 club. They do something like that, they may be untouchable, dog. Untouchable, unstoppable. It's possible. It's possible. Mad possible, bro. So I don't know if that's gonna be the key to success down the stretch when it comes to playoff basketball, but they definitely gonna be fun to watch during the season. They definitely, everybody probably when they get that new 2K24, they gonna be lacing up with them to see how they can light it up behind the arc and from the field. You know what I'm saying? So, but that defensive side of the ball, man, they traded away like Shamit, in the KD trade. They traded away Mikal Bridges, which was another wing that was nice on both sides of the ball. So it's gonna be a struggle, man. And I'm nowhere near a believer of DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton, man, you could trade him for a sleeve of Oreos. Hey, I'm talking about give me Chip Ahoy cookies, Oreos. You can give me the Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies for that nigga, dog. I'm telling you, bro. DeAndre Ayton, bro, I'm nowhere near a believer for that cat, dog. Like, he got that because he got paid too recently. He got paid last summer, right?
He got paid last summer, bro.
He ain't reflective of that paycheck, dog, for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not that. Is he cool? He's cool, but he's not the guy you finna give big dollars to that degree. I probably, because it was a trade that was gonna go down. I believe they was looking for somebody in Dallas, right? Was that last? Or he was going to Dallas and Phoenix ended up matching him or something like that, right?
No, Dallas wanted to trade for him, but he actually was going to Indiana. He signed an offer sheet with Indiana.
Indiana, that was the spot.
And that's who, they matched the offer over there. So yeah.
Yeah. That mug, dog. I'm not a believer in that cat though. So it's gonna be interesting to see, where they end up. I'm happy for Bill though, because Bill has served his time over in Washington for I want to say about 10 years or so. Still got a lot of greatness, I feel, for Bill, man. But he finally got some guys, that I feel like is going to be able to elevate to the game that he plays at and beyond where he even has been, because you got a champion in that boy KD. And Booker has been played in the finals, so they definitely got long run experience. And I feel like Bill, when his number's called, and it's going to be called easily because he's going to be the third option there. They're going to be double teaming Book and KD for sure. So he going to be able to light it up easily. You know what I mean? Like when you got guys like that, that's going to open your game up in ways it probably ain't never been opened up. You know what I mean? Like he's probably never ever played next to weapons like this. They got
the tools. They got the tools. It's going to be up to him to get back to all-star level, but they got the tools, bro. They got the tools. They got cats over there to really make his job easy. So it's really going to be up to Brad to show that he's still that guy, that he still got all of the toolbox that he had in Washington, which I think he does. But no excuses this year, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's you next to Booker and KD. And you even got Ayton, and you got, role players who I kind of like over there. Campaign's still over there. Josh Okogie's over there. Dudes who just play hard and know their role. So come on, man. Figure it out.
I don't know. How you feel about Frank Vogel as the guy leading the ship over there? You think that was the right call?
No. But Frank, no. But Frank is serviceable. Frank is an NBA champion. Frank is somebody that is not gonna mess up the shit for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's just gonna do what he does. And I also think Frank brings a level of toughness to his rosters. He's a defensive coach, so maybe that's what they need over there in Phoenix. I don't know, but to me, you don't go from a dude like Monty Williams, who I love and I think is a great NBA coach, to Frank, which is kind of just like, okay, all right. Hopefully he gets something done. But
Monty got that bag.
Yeah, he did. Monty got that bag and that power in Detroit. They gave him everything over there. So
is he president of operations over there too?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. But also I think it was his relationship with DeAndre Aiton that also was like the nail on the coffin, so to speak, because when they couldn't coexist, but they just got finished paying him all that money, I knew that something was going to happen. So
yeah, they had to pick a side at that point. Mm-hmm. Had to pick a side, man. You know, the news came out, you know, that your boy Dame wanted to get up out of Portland, man. You know, I felt immediately when he had asked that, I was like, man, it may be too late. You know what I mean? In the sense that not that he don't got anything to give, but the window of where he could have went years ago and linked up with guys because guys hadn't already moved versus now, I think would have been more beneficial for his career, you know, maybe 2-3 years ago. You know what I mean? Let's say he want to go to Philly before James Harden got there. You know, hook up with Embiid or something like that, right? I still want to see that to this day, but you get the Embiid that's trending into his MVP opposed to now, I believe he's going to be everything after this probably coming out of that, right? Because I very much take Dame over Harden, you know, definitely more, he's going to be more present and prevalent in playoff basketball. You know, Dame is dang near top 5, top 10 all-time guy when it come to postseason play. James Harden is polar opposite of that. He's like a top 10 regular season guy, and he drops down about 50 slots in the postseason. But yeah, man, or like let's say we want to see him in Milwaukee or, you know, anywhere. Like he could have went to Miami maybe a few years ago before, you know, they had to pay what's the name all this money. They gave Duncan Robinson a check. They giving Tyler Hero a check. All this other stuff before these guys became proven roles in they organization. So what you feel though, man? You feel like it may have been too late, and honestly they still ain't pulled the trigger on this Miami trade between Portland and Miami. So what you feel like going on, man?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, bro. The longer he waits, the worse this situation gets. So I'm hoping for the best when it comes to Damian Lillard. I think he deserves to play somewhere different. But yeah, I definitely think, like I've been saying, him requesting this trade at this point in time in his career, no, this was not the time to pull the trigger now, in the sense that you should have been did this. Like, we've been begging for you to get out of Portland. And so, come on, man. Figure it out. Get that together, bro.
Hey, this episode gonna be called Figure It Out. That boy telling everybody.
Figure it out, bro. Figure it out. Figure it out. I am tired. Figure it out, bro. So, yeah, that's just where it is at this point. That's just where it is at this point.
In the music world, man, how we feeling for 2023 thus far? You know what I'm saying? You feel like rap been holding it down, or is it a dying breed that's happening amongst the artists in this era, dog? What we doing?
Yeah, I don't know if I've been super impressed by anything crazy. Like, I'm not saying it's a dying breed. I won't go that far, but
yeah,
I don't know, bro. Like, outside of, I guess, what I know we're getting ready to talk about in the podcast as far as this project, I don't know if there's been anything that's made me go, yo, spectacular, life changing,
huh?
Let me go tell the world about this project. Yeah. I don't know if there's been any of that in 23, bro. So I don't know what's going on with the rap and hip hop genre. I don't know what's happening, but yeah, we definitely missing one of them ones. I feel like personally, at least. That's just my takeaway. But I also know that there's plenty of more music for me to get to. Even the rappers have taken different routes. Like, I think about like Lil Yachty and stuff like that, just with sonically and stuff like that. Even rappers have kind of gone away from rap to a certain degree, right? And have tried something different. So I think that's also maybe part of it too, where you even got artists who are known for certain things deciding to pivot in their artistry to maybe expand their sound. And I'm here for that. It's just as far as rap is concerned, definitely feel like it's lacking.
It was a lot of high. I still haven't heard it, but it was a lot of high praise for that Killer Mike. Did you get a chance to check that joint out yet?
No, I didn't. Definitely read up on it and kind of see the reviews, but I haven't got a chance to like sit down with the project. So that's one of the only projects I can't necessarily do it justice and give a review yet until I really like sit down with it myself. But yes, you're right. The praise has been high for it. People have been loving it. People saying that Mike is in his bag on this one, so yeah, I'm not mad at that, and I'm excited to at least go tap in with it and see what they're talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably tap in that one maybe later today when I'm driving. But yeah, I seen a lot of people talk about that album that necessarily, not that I know them to be Killer Mike fans speak about it. So that's when it really got my attention when cats that I ain't never heard say something about Killer Mike start mentioning it to me and told me to check it out. So, but yeah, I agree. Definitely been a light year for music, dog. Specifically in the hip hop rap world. I will say it's been a few standout joints though. I would say the female MC rapper lane has been standing out just in, how much is being highlighted about them. Musically, I wouldn't say it's been anything over there that's been necessarily astronomically great to want to say, yo, you got to go check this mug out. It's just been a lot of action with him. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a new one coming out every day. Records are going crazy. I will say that Put It on the Floor by Lotto has been definitely one of the stellar moments in for rap and music generally. But definitely out of the females, she definitely caught one with that one.
Absolutely.
I did like that Doja. I forgot the title of that mug, but the first single she dropped this year, where she was in on the street, like walking on the street, rapping. It was like a rappity type joint.
Yeah,
like a rappity type joint. I liked that joint, and then I think Oh yeah, Doja hard. The second single just came out. I haven't really sunk my teeth into it. I just seen like the snippets of it, but I feel like she really tapping into the rap bag on this album that she got coming out soon, which is what I've always wanted her to do. So I'm looking forward to that, man. Ice Spice, man, continues to just make the right moves. That's the best way I can see it, bro. Like she's been making the right moves. The Barbie soundtrack has been going crazy. I actually do like that Deli joint a lot. Like Riot, her producer, dog, his chemistry with her is immaculate. Like he knows what to put her on, or she knows what beats to choose and sound best on. You know what I mean? Like she was just made for this era. Like I've said it once before in one of the reactions I did on her record. She was made for this era, bro. Like the type of hits that or songs that she's making for this era were made to be hits of this era. You know what I'm saying? But and then you got the sensation of Sexy Red, STL on. You know what I mean? She's definitely not for me, but I'm happy to see somebody from St. Louis put on for the city. She's a representation of, some women from St. Louis. I definitely will agree with that. Much younger artists than where I'm at in life and the type of stuff that I'm digesting, but she making noise, man. She on Rolling Loud, pulling up to Drizzy tours, backstage, popping out with Summer Walker and Suki Hana. I don't even know. It's crazy that I know all these cats' names. It ain't right, is it, dog?
Crazy, dog. It's crazy.
I mean, but she's all in her own right. She's having like an Ice Spice type of moment too, of just people alluring to her. You know what I mean? Like of all kinds, So I would definitely, give her flowers in that degree, man. I'm interested to kind of see, what's the next steps with a career like hers in the music that she makes. What's gonna be the label plan or her plan. But salute, man. Definitely got to give, applause to somebody from St. Louis doing their thing, man, because been a minute since we got somebody to be in that type of public eye. And the reason I say that type of public eye, because we got somebody like a Smino, which is artistically one of the dopest, one of the most like unique, but acquired taste type of artists. But that type of music and his type of art, like the type of artist he is, necessarily wasn't in the public eye like this. It's almost like he's almost like an artist, like if you know type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. So yeah, this is different for sure, man. But yeah, man, on the guy side though, outside of this Travis we about to get into, man, that F You Mean by Gunna, dog, has somehow taken the charts by storm. You know what I mean? Like, the situation with, between YSL in the RICO case that the whole label has caught, and then you got him being somebody that's seeming to be in a place where they deem it as a snitch, deem it as a rat, but still overcomes that, right? Get a record that's at this level, and it's now, I think, sitting like number 4 on top 5 Billboard 100. Crazy. I couldn't foresee it happening. But that's the power of this era, dog. I think that just speaks to this era and where we are in music and humans. Like, so much street culture used to be influenced onto the rap and almost running synonymous to it. Now it's different. You know what I mean? Like, and I was trying to say earlier, or I was trying to say recently to some cats, like, where music and where things pop off and something being commercial doesn't live into the same places. You know what I mean? Because it's not what's being spun on radio. It's not even necessarily what's being spun in the clubs, right? It's the viral moments. It's the TikTok, the 15 seconds, the short form. It's that type of algorithmic space where we equate this as being commercially successful. And that F You Mean is captured all of that, dog. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell you how many times I pull up and pop out and see somebody playing it or see a video with that mug as a sound behind it. But yeah, man, I didn't foresee it coming, but here we are, man. You know what I mean?
I'm extremely surprised, bro. I'm extremely surprised, especially considering the initial backlash on him coming home and all the memes and people going crazy. I'm thinking there's no way this dude comes back and makes any type of splash in music. Yeah. He's gonna have to sit down for a little while. The same way I felt like Megan would have to sit down and kind of disappear for a little while. But what you're coming to find is that, man, you know, it's a different era. It's a different era.
It's a different era, bro.
And no way in the era that we grew up in would that fly in any way, shape, or form. But hey, man, you know, now you can go ahead and tell somebody grandma. You can send cats to jail. You can say that you everything on the left side, and be on the right side. And guess what, bro? It's not going to affect the music. It's not going to affect your sales. It's not going to affect your popularity. If anything, that boat may grow. I mean, Tekashi 6ix9ine's got a new record with Kodak. This is crazy. Like,
yeah, that's another thing that's going on.
I seen stuff like that. So yeah, it's just something I couldn't have possibly foreseen, and I don't even know where to fit in this era myself, bro. I'm like, I guess I can enjoy.
Now, hold on, man. You know where to fit at, man.
I don't know where to fit, bro. I don't, because it's like, what's happening? What's happening, G?
Nah, man, it's definitely a different era, man. So it's definitely different, man. I'm trying to think if there's anything else outside of that, though, dog. Like the main, not just in rap, but that what has been astronomical still since this came out. It wasn't this 2023, but the back end of 2022. So I still kind of count it as that scissor record for sure. I just want to keep that mug alive. You know what I mean? Because music, you know, the amount of music that comes out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, cats got to remember that album, dog. Like, that mug is one of them ones. You know what I mean? Like, that mug still get heavy rotation for me, dog. I see a lot of people doing covers for that snooze, too. So, yeah, man, that mug definitely still one of the ones. But, man, you know, recently, dog, over the last, week and a half or 2 weeks ago, your boy came down from outer space and said, I'm going to give y'all a blessing. You know what I mean? Coming from the planet of Utopia, Travis LaFlame Scott said, man, it's time to come back. You know, condolences to the families that suffered all the losses at Astro World Fest. You know what I mean? I think 5 years they felt was enough time to come back and give us an album since Astro World came out in 2018, which is another astronomical album, no pun. But no, man. Utopia, man, it pushed 400,000 units first week. The record is 19 tracks long. It is star-studded like no other. You know, when I think about Drake, Bad Bunny, Travis Scott, The Weeknd, and who else on there? Yay. I mean, it's like the freaking music Avengers. You know what I mean? And still, you got to think about the Thugs of the World is on there. Cardi. Yeah. You know what I mean? Kid Cudi, James Blake, SZA. Oh, my God. Anytime I think of SZA, I got to lose it. I mean.
Nah, for real.
Nah, man. So, the album, man, you know, I felt like, man, my immediate feelings, bro. I mean, if you go look at my reaction, bro, if you haven't already, dog, you would think I was going insane on that mug. I mean, production wise alone, I'm just like, this album, dog, is some of the best I've heard in years, bro. Production wise alone, dog. In the transitions to me, I felt like, which is not something that all artists really take into factor when they making music and laying tracks next to the track that's coming after it. To me, that always provides a better listening experience for the listener because it's so cohesive when you allowing records to come together and go to the next one so smoothly or magically abruptly, but it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I felt like the production and the transition possessed on this album. To me, dog, I felt like this was some of the best bars and lyricism that was displayed from Trav out of his whole discography. Because I'm always looking to be pretty much taken out of my seat production-wise and sonically. But this mug, lyrically, I kept saying, like, this cat barring up. Like, yeah, and that's not always something I'm really saying for a Travis album. It's never like it's never like the bars are just horrible. It's just more so the bars are just pretty mediocre, and what he's doing vocally or sonically enhances the experience of how I receive those. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Man. I want to say, man, I'm gonna let you get in though, dog. What you think of that mug, dog? How you feel about this joint, man?
No, listen. A lot of what you said about the album is 100% facts, right? Like, I can't disagree with any of that. I think for me, like, I even said this in our group chat just briefly. I was saying, I think for me, bro, I always can applaud somebody who steps out and expands their sound and does something sonically that, you know, is not expected. It's not, like, I think you used the word safe. I can agree with that. It's not safe. For me, bro, like, I was such an Astroworld fan. Like, I remember when that project dropped, I remember where I was when I heard it. I remember how long I played it. It was like an anthem for life. Yeah. At one point in time. And so I think in coming off of that, I don't know, and even in my review of, like, is all the positive and all the pleasantries that I can give this album, so to speak, I still don't know if I've gotten over that. And so I think I'm doing Travis a disservice by maybe comparing what he's done in Utopia versus what he did on Astroworld and all the aspects and the elements in which I loved on Astroworld, and almost expecting for those things to be on this album as well. Like, I think one of the biggest differences is that Astroworld had clear, concise, almost calculated singles, whereas this one, there are songs that have the ability to be singles, but they're not as clear. It's not as like, oh, this is clearly the joint off of this one. This is clear, you know what I mean? It's more like that. Yep. And so that kind of throws it off for me as well. But I'll say this, like, do I think that he delivered off a 5-year delay? I do. And I think, like, for me, one of the things that often grows on me is when I'm able to hear the music in different settings, when I'm able to go to different places and experience it, when I'm able to see it in different setups, then I'm able to kind of appreciate it that much more. And so I feel like the way that I felt initially about Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and how I was like, at first, and then later on for me, after seeing it in different settings, hearing it in different spaces, feeling like, oh, now this is a much better project than people are used to. It's just different. It's the same way I think I'm feeling like Utopia. I think some people has already called Utopia album of the year, and have even went as far as to say that, like, Trav essentially just put together Kanye's greatest hits in one album, which I think is high praise, right? I've seen that. Yeah. And then I think others have kind of been like, it's good. I don't know how to feel about it yet, but it's good. Nobody said it's bad or anything like that, and I'm sure not going to get on here and say it's bad. I think that would be a lie and disingenuous. I just don't know where I stand with it yet, and I think that's where I'm at with it. I don't know where I stand with it. I do think it's a good project. I do think that there's joints that will absolutely grow on me, and I think maybe even in a couple of weeks I'll have a different report of this album. It may be my favorite album, but right now I'm still trying to get a feel for it, even though there's a lot of great music on here, and especially a lot of great production. And also I'll say this to the last point, that Trav definitely put way more effort into his pen on this album as well. That is clear, like, verbatim. So there's a lot to like. I just don't know if I've synchronized it yet, for sure.
No, I feel that, doubt. Yeah, I definitely, to piggyback off the it's not clear singles, for sure. That's definitely And I'm just trying to, I'm listening to you say that, and I'm listening like, how do I grade that when I listen to albums and, rank, try to score them? I don't know. I mean, I just feel like when you at a certain level, those things will happen. You'll get a hit. And I don't know if I necessarily do. I look at Travis like he's a hit maker. I don't think I necessarily do. He has hits, right? But I don't look at him like I look at, and it's crazy, it's really an understatement to say, like, I look at Drake as a hit maker, but he's a hit maker. Like, a lot of people will look at him and be like, man, he just make hits. They may not even like him for the side B stuff, but he overwhelmingly, by a lot of people, I believe, will be seen as a hit maker. I think the biggest impression when it comes to Travis, for me, is just sound. Like, sound, innovation, and pushing the envelope, right? And I think, honestly, you almost can use a lot of that stuff, those same three kind of phrases with a Ye. Sound, innovation, and pushing the envelope. You know what I mean? Like, and it makes sense. Like, being that he's somebody that was mentored up under somebody like a Ye, signed to Ye, producers with Ye, writes with Ye, and I was trying to, and we was talking about this in the chat too, like just trying to gauge how do we feel that this is so remotely close to a project like a Yeezus or a lot of the records that Ye has been behind, and Travis kind of gave us a reminiscent feeling of those records. And for me, I just came to the conclusion of like, man, this dude he's a producer first, just like Ye. And he was a part of a lot of those creations. So I just like gave them a collaborative credit to this sound that exists that we all experience now. You know what I mean? I think that was, once I got over that kind of hiccup in listening to this album, because if you look at my reaction, I often say, man, this mug is reminding me of Ye. Man, I'm waiting for Ye to come in on this record. He sound like Ye. And during that time, I was trying to say I gotta be considerate to know that he was a part of those things that was happening back then as well, and to not fully feel either like I should slight him or shade him because of that. So it's a word case, because there's not too many situations in music where I feel like this had to happen like that, or I had to think about that. Like Thug, I think early on, I don't know if it was Thug. It was people that used to try to say Drake sounded like Wayne or sounded like Ye, and he was signed to Wayne, and then he also wrote for Ye. So that may be a similar situation. But I used to know that this dude's sound had a totally different like ability than that, and others would come to see after so long, which people did. Yeah. But it is a unique situation that I think we find ourselves in with the Ye and Trav situation with the sounds. But overall though, man, I feel like this definitely is album of the year, dog. At this point before this, I only had Uzi as album of the year, right? Which is another artist taking risk and risk to the public. Because if you ask me, Uzi has always been able to do that type of stuff, like
out of the box for sure.
Be very experimental, alternative, and just take on different genres and word like he's always done it, right? But that was the album I had before this. That was album of the year, which is still a dope album. Like I honestly like Pink Tape a lot. I think it has records that are on the level of some of the stuff that's on this Travis Utopia, but collectively Utopia doesn't really have any droppage. And the second thing may be more subjective, but it doesn't ask for me to bend more. You know what I mean? Like, and what I mean by that is like, I know for some people they can't even intake the music that Uzi was making on Pink Tape because it's so far left than what they normally intake musically for their listening choice. But he softly introduced those ideas on previous projects and songs of his. So it wasn't like a wild card when I heard it. But I would say this Utopia was a little bit more polished in taking those risks and not being so safe. But I mean, $400,000, it's the biggest record in rap of this year. I think it's only behind, I think a Taylor Swift project for 2023 as far as first week sales, which Taylor is doing something unforeseen, you know what I mean, that we've never seen. So she's in a world of her own. But I think the only thing to really wrap it up, man, is this dude to go on tour and start killing shows live. You know what I mean? Like, at that point, it's pretty much going to be going and rain with it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
I feel great about it, man. But with all that being said, dog, I kind of thought about this, not immediately, but maybe the second or third time I was listening to the project, and I had to start thinking about, like, what does this do for Travis's career? Like, what does this do for him, right? He's yet again giving us another great album, which is very hard to come back after 5 years, right? And that year, the album that was left with us before the 5 years was the Astro World, right? Which is a lot of people feel is his best album in his catalog. So you not only got the anticipation of 5 years, but you also coming off what a lot of people believe is your best album. And you delivered. I said the way I felt about this album and him delivering is how I wanted to feel about Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And that's not to shade the Big Steppers or shade it like it's bad. It's just the fact that they both was 5 years off and they had to deliver. That album grew on me over time because I think it's a good album. But this album, pretty much instantaneously of me hearing it, I was like, this mug is out of here, right? Yeah. But thinking about what this album does for Travis, I had to start thinking about where do I see Travis now, right? Because I always famously talk about the three-headed monster, which is Kendrick, Cole, and Drizzy. And it's always been a haven that cats always entertain. It was two cats that always entertained it for me. And it was Future, which is still constantly entertaining to be in that realm. And it was Travis Scott. Because the 5 year hiatus that Travis was on, I was giving more edge to Future. Future coming off another great album too. I Never Liked It was crazy. Amazing album. A press play for me, especially if you're a Future fan. But this album, I believe Travis, talent-wise, possesses greater artistically abilities than a Future. I think Future is a better song maker, is a better hit maker, I should say, right? Hit maker, like probably one of the best hit makers of all time. But I'm at the point where I'm like, I think Travis is having to force somebody out of that three-headed monster, bro. And you know, one is off, probably forever solidified, and that's Drizzy Drake Rogers. His spot really probably can't be contested by anybody. But as far as Kendrick and Cole, I think one of them is gonna have to move out the way, bro. At this point, bro, one of them is gonna have to move out the way. You know what I mean? And it's not a courtesy thing. He's coming like that. Pause. Like the way Travis has been going and orchestrating his career, one of them is gonna have to move out the way. He's more active, right? The only reason why he was gone for 5 years is because we know what happened at Astro World Festival. He's more active. He has 0 misses in his catalog, bro. Cultural relevance and dominance. He may be at the top of that list, right? Only person that probably can contest that is maybe Drizzy. But I may even get the edge to Travis with that just because of how marketable and how just he's always in brand partnerships. You know what I mean? Like the Nikes, the Jordans. You know what I mean? The McDonald's meal, the tours, all this other stuff, right? And his merch sales like none other. He put his name on something, it's out the window. And then you think about he produces the numbers when it comes to them charts. When it come to them charts, he got all that, right? So at that point, what left can we see that would say I have to keep a Kendrick or Cole over Trav and out of their top 3? You know what I mean? Like, how you feel about that when I mention that?
That's tough, man. That's tough. I'm not saying it's crazy because, like, I think we've both mentioned before at one period of time or another that, you know, Future and Trav were always knocking on the door, always close. I just think it's going to be hard to move them 3 spots, mainly because I think, like, Kendrick has mass appeal. And I think that, like, you know, say what you want about Kendrick and how you feel about his album, he arguably among not just niche fans, not just today's fans, but fans of what I would call the hip hop rap divide, meaning those who were raised in the hip hop era where it was more about bars, lyricism, and this, that, and the third.
Right.
And it was like, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and then the rap era where it was kind of more like down south began to rule rap. Trap, production, all of that. Between both of those eras, Kendrick has not only fans of both of those eras, but people who universally see his early projects as classics from both of those eras. And so I think it's hard to move him out the way because it's like, he touches the old head, he touches the new school cat in a way that neither Drake or Cole necessarily get that amount of love when you just talk about rap fans and hip hop fans.
Right.
So I think his spot is also solidified. So really the only spot we're talking about is Cole. And for me, I'm just being honest.
The way that you're doing this though. Like you're just eliminating instead of just giving a cat out.
Yeah, like I had to eliminate Bug, that Bug. So the only spot we're talking about is Cole, and I don't know if I'm ready to do that, considering the fact that he has, this anticipated project where he kind of gets to, come up and replace. So it's not the off season. It's what's it going to be coming up?
The fall off.
The fall off. So
yeah.
It's supposed to be getting the fall off. So we'll see what he does. But I will say, if the fall off is underwhelming, might be time to get Travis in there.
I like that. I like how you present it. I mean, I want to go off the limb and just say, despite that, because I don't want to, it's certain moments like this, you have to put down your flag and stand where you're going to lie, right? And, I mean, even if he comes with that, right? If I ask you, who has a better catalog, Cole or Trav, I'm going to have to lean towards Trav. I'm just going to have to. Because arguably, Cole doesn't have the greatest catalog in discography. Album, studio album, right? We talking about studio albums. Right. He has, I would give Cole 2 albums universally that people celebrate and would probably call either great or classics. One of them, I'm not even I ain't gonna say a fan of. I just didn't see the beauty in it that the masses seen. I'm the minority in that one. That's 2014 Forest Hill Drive, right? But Born Sinner is the one that was my favorite when it came to Cole, and I guess you can. It's not his album, but it's the one that kind of introduced everybody to him. What's the album?
Sideline Story.
Sideline. No, not Sideline Story. What was before? Friday Night Lights. Sideline Story need to get out of here. They need to throw that mug in the door. I think Cole would tell you he would probably throw that mug because he talks about it and say he was just doing with the label and trying to create these singles and stuff like that. So, but Friday Night Lights, Born Sinner, and 2014 Forest Hill Drive would be like the peak elite Cole projects, right? Studio albums and somewhat tapes. When you look at this nigga Trav though, bro, it's I mean, you don't find in all studio albums, bro. There's not an album that you're gonna come away with feeling lackluster, feeling like he could have gave, something beyond this. Because it serves as his career is moving on. You know what I mean? You go back to Rodeo, Birds in the Trap Scene McKnight, Astro World, Utopia, and that collab of Jack Boys was crazy, right? He gave us a different spin to Pop Smoke, and we was looking forward to see what he was gonna do with Pop Smoke. You know what I'm saying? And then you think about when it comes to the massive records like Sicko Mode or Goosebumps or Butterfly Flick or, you know what I mean? Like, he got these big, massive moments, you know what I mean? And he produces bigger numbers in Cole when it comes to the charts too, right?
Yeah,
and, like, only thing I can give Cole really, it's gonna come down to a rap thing, right? It's gonna come down to who can bar up at a certain elite level. And of course it's gonna be Cole. Do I think Cole makes better songs than Travis? I don't know. I see, and it's a different way you have to look at that, because you can say story. A lot of people may put storytelling on a high pedestal. I'm the type to put song arrangement and structure on a high pedestal, right? Vocals on and so that's where it gets a little bit subjective. But the things that I think that are more objective in black and white: numbers, overall catalog, cultural relevance, and dominance. You know what I mean? I think I would have to edge Travis in all three areas over Cole for that stuff. Because Kendrick puts up bigger numbers. Kendrick doesn't have the cultural relevance that Travis has.
Right.
I think I would argue that Kendrick has a better catalog than Travis. I would definitely say he has a better catalog. It's just, I mean, it's not the most. It's crazy. I almost said enjoy. It's not the most easy listenable catalog. He's going to challenge everything you ever thought, right?
Yeah,
Travis is going to make you feel so, you know what I mean, and enjoy more. But they serve two different people. So I think that's how you got to separate that when you're thinking about that. But I would definitely say Kendrick has a better catalog and he puts up bigger numbers for sure. So I think that would save his spot. But when it comes to the Cole slot, a lot is up to be exposed and would have to be edged to a Travis in that space. I haven't heard nobody really start to talk about that, but that was something I thought about, bro, after listening to this album and looking at the macro view of each of these artists' careers and had to sit with that, bro. You know what I mean?
Facts. Yeah, facts. I can do nothing but understand where you're coming from. I'm not quite there yet, but I think my only But my only caveat is that Cole's got another opportunity here, and if he capitalizes on it, if he gives us a classic, then I think his spot is safe. If he doesn't.
Now I can feel you there. He the fall off does, because it's been one of those albums where he's been talking about and mentioning to us for years to come. And you know, that can serve as, you know, a great thing or a bad thing, because one is probably going to sell crazy because we've been looking for it forever. But then 100%. We've got high expectations as well, right? Yeah. And you got to deliver when you do that. Now, I am confident in Cole delivering something crazy because he's been having verse of the year for like the last 2 years or so, right?
Yes.
And his feature run.
That's also to keep that feature run has also been keeping him, exactly.
Yeah, the feature run has been what I've been praising him mostly of as of late, because he's, like I said, bro, verse of the year, he's been having moments, you know what I mean, just really flurs of greatness. So now I'm looking forward to that, man, and that kind of segue into the last segment where we talking about most anticipated albums of the year that's remaining to come in 2023. I would definitely say, is it scheduled to come out this year, The Fall Off by Cole, or is it?
It's supposed to be The Fall Off this year. It's supposed to be. So
okay,
well, that's the big one for me, bro. Personally,
yeah,
like that one's got to deliver. So.
Yeah, that's definitely one we gonna be looking forward to for sure, dog. I was talking recently, dog, about this For All the Dogs by Drizzy, dog. It's really no anticipation for this, and that's not a shade. It's because Drizzy gives us already a lot of music, right? He's always around, so it's not a lot of anticipation. And then what really kind of knocked it to the side for me was this Utopia album. Like, this album deserves to live in a space where people ain't just trying to flood the market with stuff that ain't gonna be on the same level. And and I even say that goes for somebody like Drizzy, dog. Like, I say that now because Drizzy makes the music I love the most, the genre I love the most. But I objectively, I want to respect his space for Utopia and Travis, because it deserves that type of attention. You know what I mean? But I'm not sure what to expect for all the dogs. He said he going back to Take Care or Old Drake. Anytime he says Old Drake, we assume that's gonna be me and So Far Gone, Take Care, OVO, true sounding type of vibes. I'm not sure if Rihanna has confirmed to come this year, but we would love if she did. Man, the Navy finna come throw shots at you.
I love Reed, but Reed promising us a project for years, bro. Like,
yeah,
until we get some sort of rollout, I'm not gonna believe it, bro.
Nah, I believe it, man. She gotta drop the baby first, and then she'll probably come drop the album. So I'm not so sure if that's gonna come. I know Metro and Future got something coming for sure. I'm looking forward to that. Metro and Future always. I mean, Metro by himself, he's been on a different type of turn. Like no kissy, dog. So I'm looking forward to that, dog. Is it anybody else? Man, there's some cats that ain't been around in a minute. Big Sean, cats like that. Hey, the way Meek been putting up them freestyles, though, I'm looking for whatever he got coming, dog. Straight up.
Meek, I'm waiting.
Meek, my guy. And Meek typically brings a certain type of energy when he arrives with an album. You know what I mean? Like, he gonna come off with something that ain't just gonna sit sweet, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, facts.
Nah, man, so I'm looking forward to this, man. But with closing thoughts, man, what you got with this Earl Spence and Crawford? What happened to your boy, man? How much bread you lose, dog? What happened?
Well, thank God I ain't lose no bread this time around. I thought it was close. I thought it was a 50-50 fight. I'm still recovering from that fight, bro. Honestly. You know, Errol Spence is a warrior. He's a dog. I did not anticipate seeing him get dismantled like that. But you know what the reality of the situation is? It just goes to show how far we slept on Terrence Crawford. So instead of talking about how Errol Spence, you know, got taken care of, which he did, I think it's a testament to say we didn't appreciate how good Terrence was, but we know now. So I want to give, you know, shouts out to the dog, Terrence Crawford from Omaha, Nebraska. Pound for pound king, fighter of this generation. He's the new Floyd, man, and he proved it in what he did to Errol Spence. Errol Spence, I think there was reason for Errol Spence not to be his best self, but I think even if Errol Spence, after getting this experience, he comes back harder, they do it at a higher weight because I think you know, the weight affected him. I think the layoff, he was out of the ring for almost 2 years, so that definitely affects things, timing and all of that. But I think even if we get the best Errol Spence, at best we get a really, really good fight. We get like a Deontay Wilder, you know, Fury fight. But we still see what Fury does to Wilder in the end, and I think the result would be similar to that, where Spence may actually give Crawford the business more at some points, but Crawford still ends up winning that fight if we see another one. So if I'm Errol Spence, I move up. I forget about Crawford. I go tackle the other weight divisions that I'm able to go dominate in, because there's some legacy building stuff that he can still do. But I think if you're Errol Spence's team, that's what you want to see him do. Go dominate the other weight divisions. Let Terrence Crawford have his moment, and just say, hey, look, man. At some points, there's just certain guys that are better than you. T-Mac was a dog, but you know, Kobe was another level, and I think it's kind of like that. Errol Spence, you know, Tracy McGrady, All-Star, Hall of Famer, all of that good stuff. But Kobe was just another level, and there's no shame in that. But you gotta take it for what it is.
The T-Mac Kobe parallel analogy was hilarious. Oh man, so Pete Crawford versus Pete Floyd, who you taking, Doc?
I'm taking Pete Floyd in the decision because that defense is something special, and I don't think Crawford hits Floyd as much as he hits anybody else.
Yeah.
And then I think what people forget about Pete Floyd was also offensive. So it wasn't just the defense. When Floyd was at his peak, he was also knocking cats out. People forget that. And so I would take Pete Floyd, but only by about this much. Crawford is that good.
Yeah, man. I've been telling cats for 50 years, man. What you talking about? Niggas ain't even 50 years. I've been telling cats for 50 years, man. Floyd is the safest bet in all of sports, man. So I would have to side with Floyd for sure, dog. But I am a fan of Charlo, man. The Charlo twin that's undisputed right now, man. I see he was in the crowd, woofing at Crawford in the ring. Is that gonna happen, dog? Would you like to see that happen? If it did, who you think you getting in that?
So don't know if it's gonna happen because you know that the Charlo twin that you're talking about, Jamel. He's got to fight with Canelo, and Canelo is no easy task. Canelo is that guy. But if he gets past Canelo, then I think I can see it happening after that. But I don't know because Crawford might have to come up and wait. And so does he want to do that against somebody Charlo size? Not sure.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that.
But if there's anybody who could get it done and take Charlo out, it's Crawford. So
Yeah,
So,
that's what they were saying. He got to worry about Canelo first, dog. And Canelo's still walking around with that many believe is the best fighter in the sport. So,
absolutely.
yeah, man. We shall see, man. Shout out to Crawford, man. Errol Spence was looking like he ain't belong in that ring at all, though, man. Nigga face looked like he... The nigga looked like he seen 90 niggas through them eyes at the end of that match, boy. Like, man.
I was hurt for him, dog. So, yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, that was a sad looking moment, dog. What you got up for the rest of the week, though, my G? Cats getting to the bread and... Nah, come on, man.
Recovery, man. Recovery. I'm hurting, man. I'm hurting. Yeah, I'm hurting. You know, y'all. By the time y'all see this, I should be good. But
yeah,
you know, not at my best physically. Then just bug. So recovery, getting to the bread, but recovery, G, and then get back on the schedule so that we can give people some more content and stuff like that, bro. That's gonna be what the plan is, big dog. You know what I'm
Got
saying?
you, man. Yeah, man. Nah, for sure, man. We definitely, dog, striving to be more consistent, man. I'm in a new crib now, dog. New setup. That was a part of the slow up for sure. But now that that's set up, dog, more than likely we definitely gonna be back at it again. I would definitely probably aim for about 2 bi-weekly shows or something like that a month. And
yes,
as we edge to the start of the NBA season, it's definitely gonna pick up for sure. We may touch on some of the football, NFL. You know what I mean? I do got my eye on a couple cats over there, dog. I see OBJ looking like money in that Baltimore Ravens jersey, dog. I'm excited to see Lamar Jackson get finally get a fair chance with having some weapons on the outside and things of that nature, man. A lot of people been talking about. It's a couple documentaries cats been talking about that's been pretty hard. The Pat Mahomes one, I think that one on HBO Max or something like that. You seen it?
I watched the quarterback joint on Netflix. So
okay. Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah, where it's like it's got the guy from Bills, a couple cats. Yeah, I gotta check it out still.
Yeah.
And then Steph Curry got one on. I think his is on. Is it on Netflix? I think it is.
I think his is on Showtime. I think or something.
Showtime. Like okay. Yeah, a lot of people told me that mug was crazy too, man. So yeah, I gotta check some of those things out, man. But other than that, like he said, man, we definitely gonna be getting the content back to y'all, man. 100 ASAP, 100 proof, and man, can't wait till the rest of the season and some more new music drop. But man, you got anything before we get up out of here, my G?
Nah, man, go follow the pod, man. Go support. We appreciate you guys for thugging it out with us and. Go follow us, man. We definitely want to make sure we get more content out there. But outside of that, man, just appreciate the love and support. That's about it for me.
For sure, my G. But yeah, man, make sure y'all follow the pod. Make sure y'all go subscribe to us on YouTube. And make sure y'all listening and liking it all on the DSPs, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and pretty much wherever you can check out the podcast at, man. So, you know what time it is, man. It's your boy Word. Back at it again, my boy Kenny Klarity. We out here.
Sure. Peace.